Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting Radio, your station for empowerment, music, and talk radio. EB Radio presents Empower Hour with Jaresha. A show that shares the stories behind the journeys of leaders, influencers, and motivators. The Empower Hour with Jaresha begins now.
Ever wonder if you're heading in the right direction? Asking for guidance isn't something to be afraid of. At Empower on Purpose, we specialize in giving expert advice, support, mentorship, training, and coaching. We're success and leadership coaches trained to help with life's biggest choices. Our self-reflection sessions will empower you for success in all areas of your life so you can sleep better at night. Our strategies will help you focus and be more intentional with your success. Our coaching and training will help you become a better version of yourself to be, do, and have all the things you want in your life. Empower on Purpose, because we recognize the power and greatness within you and empower you to be intentional and be empowered to live each day with purpose. Visit www.empoweronpurpose.com. Good evening, amazing people, and welcome to Empower Hour with Jaresha. I am your host, Jaresha Moore-Smith, and it's another amazing Wednesday. And if this is your first time tuning in to the show, I am so happy that you're tuning in this evening. I want you to know that I believe you have the power to be great, have great, and do great. You just have to be willing to unleash your greatness and take action. So on this show, I speak with leaders, motivators, and influencers who want to share their stories and journeys to empower the world for growth and success. And before I jump into what we're going to talk about this evening, I just want to share with you all that I am super excited because we are rolling into the second half of the year. Super excited about that. Now, when I tell you the second half of 2021 is going to be absolutely amazing, Empower Hour with Jaresha will be celebrating our 100th episode in August. I'm super excited about this and really want to just share with the world the journey to 100. So you don't want to miss that show that will be airing in August, where I'm going to talk about my journey and the successes and all of those moments of uncertainty and, getting past the fear and all of that. So, and even highlighting some of my amazing guests that I've had along this journey. So it's going to be truly amazing. And so I tell you all, stay tuned and, you continue to listen and tune in every single Wednesday. And for that, I am truly, truly grateful and thankful that you are continuing to listen and reaching out to share how you have been just truly blessed by many of the guests that have come on the show, as well as some of the tips and insights that's been shared. So absolutely stay tuned because the second half of 2021 is going to be simply amazing, not just for us here on Power Hour with Jaresha, but in your world as well. So let's get ready. Let's buckle up and get ready for the second half of 2021. So on this show, every single week, we take a look at an empowerment quote and how it can truly empower us for growth and success, because that's what it's all about, right? So today, we are going to take another look at another amazing empowerment quote. Y'all know that we absolutely love empowering and empowerment quotes, but I want to give you some action items that you can do as well. Now, listen, if I'm going to be totally honest with you about what today's topic is, I'll tell you that this topic is something that we all struggle with. Okay, many of us struggle with this daily. It's one thing that many of us lack for being able to accomplish our goals and being successful. So you're probably thinking like, okay, what is it that we're going to talk about today? Um, we're going to talk about the law of consistency, or just consistency. I'm going to share what the law of consistency is as well. So we're going to talk all about being consistent and how we struggle. Right? We struggle with being consistent. And as I shared, I just love, love, love quotes. So let's take a look at a few to really empower us and set the tone for our discussion about consistency. The first one is: consistency is what transforms average into excellence. Or what about consistent action creates consistent results? And one of my all-time favorites, okay, by John C. Maxwell, is: motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going. That's the law of consistency. It doesn't matter how talented you are or how many opportunities you receive. If you want to grow and you want success, consistency is the key. Now, I really, really think that we can just drop the mic right there and just end the show right there. Because if you really stop and think about this, ask yourself, what is stopping you from doing, and having what you want in your life? Is this the key? Is consistency the key that keeps you from accomplishing your goal? Now, if you want anything in life, we have to be willing to approach it differently. It's all about the approach from how we would, typically approach things. I truly believe that consistency, or being consistent, is an area that we all need to improve on, including myself. I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say, yes, I have struggled with being consistent. However, when you know and realize that, you have to begin to recognize that and start taking action. So, have you ever had that goal that you were super, super excited about, super motivated about, and had it all laid out, with the action steps and the how, the what, the when, the why, and started only to get about a couple of weeks in, and then you lose your way. You get sidetracked. You lose focus and all the motivation. Okay, all of the motivation you had left. And guess what happens then? You just quit. You stop. Now, I know I just said I am one to admit and say, you know what? I've definitely had some issues with being consistent. So I know I'm not the only one right now that really can truly identify with this. And if I am, that's okay, because I am sharing because I want you to learn. I want you to grow, and we can grow together. And so the first point that I want you to learn is that this journey that you're on, the journey that I am on, is not an event. We have to understand that growth and growing is not an event. We are on this journey for a reason. And if you've ever tried something before and it didn't work, or I should say you didn't work, guess what? You get to try it again and start fresh today. See, many of us, when it comes to being consistent, we jump into whatever habit or goal so quickly without writing down anything and understanding why. Why maybe the last time we tried to do the same thing and it didn't work. It's the definition of insanity where we keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. So we struggle and fail, and then we just give up. Well, I'm here to empower you. I am here to help you today because I want you to begin to tap into understanding why you struggle with being consistent like I did. So let's start by asking ourselves some questions. If you've tuned in before, you will always hear me say that it's so important to ask ourselves some key questions. And I truly believe in asking questions. We tap into learning more about who we are and where we're trying to go. So, the first question that we should be asking is, do you know what you need to improve? Do you know what you need to improve? See, it all begins with having those moments of reflection and clarifying and then understanding what changes you need to make in your life so that you can become consistent. So if you don't even know, you're just like, well, I know that I'm not consistent, but you haven't really tapped in and tried to identify the why, and what is it that you're trying to improve? Why are you struggling? This is where, again, going back to writing things down, asking yourself those key questions, and then ask yourself, do you know how you're supposed to improve? Do you know how you're supposed to improve? See, as we grow, we need knowledge, experience, and coaching. And I'm going to put this out there because if you have never taken a personality test, I would highly encourage you to contact me, or you can easily find several resources online to get an assessment to learn more about yourself, because not everyone has the same personality strengths. And what I want and need you to know is that your personality, plays a big role in your ability to be consistent as well. But one of the keys that I want you to remember as you travel on this consistency journey is that small disciplines repeated with consistency every day leads to great achievements gained over time. So it's the small disciplines that you just continue to repeat with the consistency and being consistent every single day that's going to lead to those great achievements that you're going to gain. So stop thinking that the process, it's a process, you guys. Stop thinking it's not a process. And we have to have patience. Here there goes that P word. We have to have patience. And here's another P word, and keep practicing, because practicing brings progression. So take those baby steps and know that we have to trust the process. Now, I am a firm believer in trusting the process and understanding the process of being consistent, because I have an experience. I have truly, truly experienced this in my own life, especially with the radio show and my podcast and with my businesses. In this world, we often want instant gratification, and we want to see those results right now when we just started 2 days ago or a week ago. I really want you to stop and take time to truly value the process. There is so much value in the process that we often just discount or not even take heed to, or take the time to understand how there is a process. And then take a good look at your good habits and those bad habits, because it's truly those bad habits that keep us from progressing, right? It's those bad habits that keep us with making the excuses and keep us distracted, and And so, even if you write down some of your good habits and your bad habits, so you can really be clear. And it's going back to, getting that clarity with you and why you're continuing to not be consistent. So yeah, write things down. Write it down. And please let me know if this statement really, really resonates with you. You are exactly where you should be, given all that you have done to get there. Now, I'm going to repeat this because I really feel like for some that's listening, this may have truly maybe it went over your head. You, okay, you that is listening right now, you are exactly where you should be given all that you have done to get there. Now, for some of us, we may be thinking, yes, I have worked my butt off, putting in the blood, the sweat, and the tears and hard work. I have struggled along the way, but I have been consistent. And I know that consistency really pays off. And then you may have others that may be on the other side of that thinking, you know what? I am not where I want to be because if I'm going to be totally honest, I have been hot and cold. There were days where I was on fire, but mostly there were days I got distracted and I let those limiting beliefs come in and I stopped showing up for myself. I made excuses and the consistency or being consistent has never been my thing. And I say to both, whether you fall on in that first, category or the second, wherever you fall, I say you are exactly where you should be, given all that you have done to get there. But the good news is that today you can set goals and make changes and be on this consistency journey with the rest of us because as I have shared, it's a process. It's a process that doesn't end. It's a process that just keeps going. So the next question I want you to ask yourself is, do you know why? Do you know why you need to keep improving? Do you know why? Now, this is going to help you understand your motive and your purpose. As an executive director with the John Maxwell team, I train and teach professionals about the law of consistency. And as a part of that, we take the why test. Okay. The why test is it's for you to learn more about yourself. And so there are 7 key questions, okay? 7 key questions that I am going to go through fairly quickly. And I want you to listen and then, maybe pull out a notebook or a piece of paper and write down whether your response would be a yes or a no. And then what I want you to do is go back. So you're going to have to, um, you know, wait until this show actually goes to the podcast to be able to, rewind and go back. Because I really want you to listen to the questions, get the questions, go back and understand why you answered yes to any of the questions. So the first question, and as I mentioned, I'm going to go through them fairly quickly. And all you should do is just write down a yes or a no. And the ones that you would say yes to, your response would be yes. Those are the ones that you need to really dissect and understand, get a better understanding why you answered yes to this question. Again, this is the why test. Number 1 being, do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Would you answer yes or no? Do you require coaxing to do small chores? The next question is, do you perform duties just to get by? Question 4, do you constantly talk negatively about your work? 5, do efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead? 6, do you start projects and abandon them? And the last one is, do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? I'm going to go through them really quickly again. Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Do you require coaxing to do small chores? Do you perform duties just to get by? Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Do efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead? Do you start projects and abandon them? And do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Now take a look at those questions. If you've answered yes on any of those questions, it's an opportunity for you to reflect on the why. Why did you answer? Why did you answer yes? This is an exercise that I truly love doing because it forces us to think and reflect on the changes and the habits that we need to improve. Because I don't want those bad habits or, making excuses or just, deciding to quit to become your norm. So take the time to actually go through understanding why you answered yes. Now, the last question I want you to ask yourself is, do you know when you are supposed to improve? Now, this is not a loaded question, if that's what you're thinking, because it's not. It's very simple. And today and always, your response today, every day, and always your response should always be today. Today. Do you know when you're supposed to improve? Well, yes, you do know. And your response should be today. Being consistent starts with you making a commitment to make a small change today. If you keep setting goals and find that it continues to be a struggle and a challenge for you to be consistent, you may need to look at whether or not your goals are more goal conscious and oriented or more growth conscious and oriented. Your focus should always be to strive to be more growth oriented. So, this is good because when we talk about growth, our goal and growth consciousness, I want you to think about this. A goal conscious person waits for growth to come, but a growth conscious person takes responsibility to grow. Now, a goal conscious person focuses on a determination, on a destination, and a growth conscious person focuses on the journey. And last but not least, if you are a goal consciousness person, then you are looking for the things that's going to challenge you. If you are a growth conscious person, then you're looking for those things that's going to change you. Think about that. I hope that truly just hits home with you because it definitely hits home with me. And I can't end today's conversation and discussion of being consistent without speaking a little bit about productivity, because productivity is just one of those things that we are all, striving for. Yeah, we're all wanting to look for ways to be more productive and be constant, productive, if you will. And so we may hop on, the internet and go to YouTube and you can see everyone has some kind of tools and tips and insights on how to be more productive. But in being more productive, if you really think about it, consistency is the answer for productivity. Today, I simply want to leave you with a quote by Michael Anger that simply says, if you develop habits of success, you make a success a habit. If you develop habits of success, you make success a habit. Being constantly productive does not mean grinding away at work. It simply means that the consistent person is the most productive person. To be successful, we have to be consistent. Tony Robbins, that is, truly says it best when he says it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives. It's what we do consistently. That's so good. So ask yourself, what are you doing consistently? What are you being consistent? What areas, what things that you're doing, that you can take a look at your life and know this is something that I am doing consistently. Because that is what is shaping your life. Whether we're consistently, practicing bad habits, that is shaping your life. Consistency, the law of consistency. I absolutely love it. This has been such an amazing conversation, and I truly hope that you have enjoyed just listening and learning about consistency. Now, in closing, and I did mention this, but the law of consistency simply means motivation gets you going, discipline keeps you going. I thank you all for tuning in to the Empower Hour with Jaresha show this evening. If you are interested in starting your own show or being a guest on the show to share your amazing story and journey to equip, encourage, and empower others for growth and success, please visit www.envisionedbroadcasting.com to learn more. Please tune in next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, where you will hear an amazing story and journey from another leader, influencer, and motivator. Until next time, stay safe and be blessed.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Hour with Jaresha, where Jaresha speaks with leaders, influencers, and motivators who share their journey in personal and professional growth, empowerment tips, lessons learned, and keys of success that will empower you to your best self. Follow Jaresha on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jaresha Moore, and visit www.empoweronpurpose.com. Remember to be intentional and be empowered, and have a great day on purpose.